How are you, Ringo?
Very well, thank you, Chris.
It's Ringo Starr, everyone. So, Ringo.
I hated that bit you did out there.
Did you hate that bit? Okay, I'm sorry.
It was even worse when you said veal.
They weren't really veal.
Okay, good.
They were just make-believe. So how many houses do you own?
5.
5. Oh, good God.
Am I the winner?
Yeah, well, yeah. He's got a house count of 5, which takes the number of houses for our 3 guests tonight up to 9. So, Ringo, what do you know to be true?
That the sun will rise.
And that's it, yeah. That's all we know, is it?
That's about it.
Because you've been around the block more than most people on this planet.
Twice.
Twice. What have you learned?
About life?
Yeah, just in your journeys.
Well, I think I've learned that friendship is really important, love is important, kindness is important, and understanding is important.
There you go, it's not a bad answer. And also, I think you could add to that list an England victory. That's quite important as well, isn't it, this evening? So,
where's your little mat you've got to kneel on?
I'm not going to kneel on the mat. I'm beyond prayer. By the way, I think the manager's praying enough for all of us, don't you, at the moment? So, you were the most popular Beatle.
In our house.
No, but I think you were, right?
Yeah, okay.
With the other Beatles, with your teammates.
Yeah.
I think you got on with all of them, didn't you?
Sure.
You were the man.
I am the man.
Yeah, you didn't have a row with any of them? No rooks?
Little contretemps, but nothing as... no violence.
And one of the Beatles, George used to look out for you, didn't he?
Well, George, when I joined the band, actually got a black eye for me. He fought for me.
He used to look after you.
Let's hear it for Georgie.
Georgie boy.
Thank you.
But you know, when they were doing all the mad stuff, right?
Mad stuff.
The other, you know, when the Maharishi and all.
Oh yeah.
When they did all whatever they were doing that was mad at the time,
yeah.
right? Which was cool because you know you explored a lot of things and opened a lot of new boundaries that are still being followed and built upon today. But you were the one. I think you were the one that had the quality control because you went with the mad things for a while. Then you said, "That's enough now, lads. This is getting a bit too mad."
Yeah?
Yeah, when they all went to...
Well, when we went to India, it was pretty difficult for me because mainly, you know, I have this incredibly strict and really very straight diet just because I can't eat a lot of food. I'm allergic. And so India's pretty difficult to get a meal. And all the stuff I had was being stolen by the monkeys in the trees, so... Lots of flies.
So units,
I was out of there.
Units home before everybody else?
I did. Well, we only sort of went for 2 weeks, you know. It's we weren't planning at the time, Maureen and I, to go for a long time. We just thought we'd go for a couple of weeks, see what happens.
You nipped out there?
And it was fine. I mean, you know, go into the bathroom and making a lot of noise so the scorpions wouldn't attack you. It was not my idea of heaven.
But when towards the end of the band, right?
Yeah.
When there were little rumbles.
There was big rumbles.
Okay, I'm just being polite. There were big rumbles in the band. You actually left before anybody else. You said, "That's it, lads. I'm out of here. We're arguing now."
Yeah, I left on the White Album actually because I don't know. I just felt that those 3 were really getting on together, and I wasn't playing. I felt left out. And I went over to... Yeah, and then I went over to John's. I said, let me in. He was actually staying at one of my places. And...
Sorry.
And I said, well, you 3 are really close, man. And, you know, I just feel left out. And he said, I thought it was you 3. So I thought,
like that was
things are getting crazy. So I went over to Paul and I said, you 3 are really close, and I feel left out. And he said, I thought it was you 3. So I said, well, I'm going on holiday. I didn't even pop over to George's. I went to Sardinia.
And you did go away.
I did, I left.
A year before the official split, Ringo said, "That's it, I've had enough." And that actually brought them all back to the senses for a while, didn't it?
Well, we came back for the White Album a lot closer after that. And I love the White Album because we were back being a band after... Somebody's phone went off. You know, Pepper was great, but it was a lot of other people being involved. With the White Album, we were as a band.
And nowadays, you still get on with George, you still get on with Paul. You played on Paul's last album.
I did. He just played on mine too.
And you're going to come back. The first. Look, what about this? The first show back in September.
Yeah,
right?
great.
I've got to come back to work in September. You're going to think I don't want to go back to work. Well, Ringo's going to come and play on the first show back, which is going to be. I can't wait for that.
Sure.
It's going to be brilliant.
I'm going to do a track from my new album, Vertical Man.
Okay. Well, we look forward to seeing you. You'll be my new best friend by then, won't you?
Oh, yeah. Well, I thought we were lovers already.
Yeah, well, we almost are. We've got a flag for you. We've got a flag in case people know that Ringo's on.
Where do I look?
Ringo's on, everybody. Ringo's on at the moment. Ringo's on. Ringo is definitely on.
You see how you're right-handed, I'm left-handed.
Yeah, that's why. Now, we got a little drum kit over here.
I've played it already.
You were in a bash on it, weren't you? Is it a crap drum kit?
But it's nice for you. I mean, you can bash around.
Oh, I bash around on anything,
Yeah.
Ring. I've got to be honest.
Oh, I don't want to know about your personal
All
life.
right, mate. Now, I was asking you about when you played Shea Stadium, because we've all seen that famous footage of the Beatles playing Shea Stadium when the screaming is so loud.
Yeah.
And I said, is the sound now? Is your music dubbed onto that footage? And you say no.
No,
That's
it's
the
live.
actual sound from
It's
the concert.
live. Yeah.
But you didn't have any big speakers. You didn't have any
No,
fallback.
no monitors, no nothing. We had the amplifiers and the house PA.
The amplifiers that were on the stage in that clip.
And if you look at
Plays that.
them, we had the biggest bass amp in the world at the time, and it's about this big.
And you couldn't hear the others playing. You had to guess.
Well, you
what
could
they
hear
did.
like this rough rumble, and we'd played those songs many times, so we sort of had a vague idea where we were.
But you hear that back, and you watch that bit of footage back, and you're the tightest band in the world.
Yeah.
Cool. And you said to me earlier on that
I said everything.
if the band then had the technology that was available now,
Oh, yeah.
whole different ball game.
Well, we had to stop for those reasons. I mean, we were making records, we were progressing as recording artists and innovating lots of new sounds.
Yeah.
But we couldn't take them with us because, the synth in those days was as big as this room.
So you couldn't.
So you really couldn't
live.
reproduce anything worthwhile to what we were playing.
Now you were in two bands that we know of.
Rory Storm.
Yeah.
And the Hurricane. What was that thing at the beginning? What was that?
That was for you.
Oh, great. Great.
We said that Rory Storm and the Hurricanes were on tonight, but they don't exist anymore. It was Ringo's first band because.
Well, it was the first band that ever really did anything. I went professional with that band.
I've heard that you remarked to somebody that we both know quite well that everybody wants to talk about the Beatles, but I was in another band as well called Rory Storm and the Hurricanes. Why don't they talk about those?
Yeah. Well, I was also in the Eddie Clayton Skiffle group. Hey, you all remember them, right?
Did you have a better time in Rory Storm and the Hurricanes or the Beatles?
In the Beatles.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Rory, and it was a great step for me. And Rory, was the biggest band in Liverpool at the time.
Yeah.
And that's all we sort of were talking about, Liverpool, We didn't think of going outside of that, really. You were big in Liverpool, that was big enough. And you had a vague idea of London. And first time I came to London, I just... we came down as Rory and the Hurricanes. It was just the weirdest thing. Because we went to the Lyceum or somewhere, it was a dance. And no one would dance with us. Because we'd say, excuse me, girl, do you want to dance? And they'd say, they'd piss off. So we all used to line up and we'd hit on the one girl and say, excuse me, do you want to dance? And I'd say, get out of here. And so we hit on one girl and she said, qu'est-ce que c'est? She was French and she was the only girl we danced with.
Are you a football fan?
No. I like to support Liverpool and, of course, because the World Cup's on England.
Yep.
But that's it, really.
Okay, well, you can stick around. You're very welcome to stick around and watch the game with us if you like.
Oh, yeah, well, thanks, but...
Well, thanks for coming on the show.
I have such an important engagement.
Well, thanks for coming on, Ringo. We'll see you straight after the summer. Ringo Starr, everybody.